Florida sheriff just pissed off every thug in his state with sign he put up after deputy shoots looter. Looters in Florida wasted no time getting what they wanted from people who had abandoned their homes and business for safety. They were willing to stay behind to get some free shoes, televisions, or whatever they could get their grubby hands on that they didn't want to work for. The weather wasn't the only threat these thieves faced. They weren't alone in South Florida like they thought, and one ended up shot while looting in Fort Lauderdale. After he got what he deserved, Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel put up a message to others that royally enraged every thug who stayed behind to steal. If you teach your child to work for his favorite pair of Air Jordan sneakers, he won't wait out a Category 4 storm to steal them. Not everyone learned that lesson and are now finding this out the hard way. It's nobody's fault but your own stupidity if you try to take advantage of a major storm to get the goods. Victims are going to show you about as much understanding as Irma did to the southern portion of the state. In anticipation of the hurricane, everyone was put on notice that residents have the right to shoot anyone who lawfully tries to enter their home. A Broward County deputy understands this law loud and clear and was prepared when a thug tried to bree Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel posted a message for looters after one of his deputies was forced to shoot a looter, video below. In a South Florida looting, one suspect was shot and a second suspect was arrested, according to NBC Miami. The burglary occurred about 3 a.m. Sunday morning, September 10, at a residence in the 2500 block of Monterey Court in Broward County. Police said that officers responded to the residence after the owners called and told them that home surveillance video showed burglars inside the home. The owners were not home and had apparently evacuated. One suspect, Dylan Lemon, age 17, was shot outside of the home by a Broward County deputy, and that suspect was transported to Broward Health Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. A second suspect, Gene Coelho, age 17, was arrested and taken into custody, according to Local 10. Both suspects are facing burglary and grand theft charges. The Special Weapons and Tactical Team also responded to the residence to assist. The deputy who shot the first suspect was not injured, and his name was not released. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is conducting the investigation. The sheriff is certainly backing his deputy's decision up and just doubled down on that support with what else he did. After the incident had been resolved and the perpetrators got the punishment they had coming, Sheriff Israel took to social media to send a specific warning to all others in the area thinking they are going to try to get away with whatever they wanted. Looting during the storm will not be tolerated. Looters will be identified, investigated, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, a written message said on the sheriff's office's Facebook page. Then appeared a special video message from Israel himself. Looters, your behavior is illegal, it's felonious, and it won't be tolerated, the sheriff announced in the video message to looting thugs. It's unscrupulous and deplorable to loot at a time when we're battling one of the major storms of the century. And got met with a business end of the law. The sheriff closed his remarks with a promise to use all available resources to hunt down any looters from the time of that post forward. Of course, such a strong message putting the blame and retaliation on exactly where it belongs doesn't sit well with criminal degenerates and liberals who love to make excuses for their behavior. They likely think this is threatening talk or cops abusing the law and their authority when it's actually the thugs who are abusing the situation. The only way to prevent liberals and looters from doing their thing is to fight fire with fire. The thieves got exactly what they deserved when they broke in where they weren't invited. If this kind of reaction happens more often, crime could quickly decrease. Looting could quickly become a game of roulette with criminals not knowing who stayed behind to protect their property until they're staring down the barrel of a gun. The days of making excuses for these criminals' actions ended with the last presidency. We shouldn't have to accept being victimized by opportunists for fear of being accused of being racist. Bravo to Broward County for taking their towns back from these criminals.